over active war zones right now, there is such an increased frequency of what they call UAP or UFO that they have these rules whether or not they fire upon them. And people got so mad at me for saying publicly on the news that we do fire at UFOs, because we fucking do. But why we do is not what people think. So when you have an active war zone, specifically the area of the world that I'm talking about in the Middle East, anything within 27 to 30 miles of ground troops gets fired upon. That's it. But I was exposed to documents that tell me a little bit more precisely how you choose what to fire upon. And what you fire upon is anything that appears that it could have a payload.
Really?
Yeah, because it would be a threat. What do they do with, like, the cubes surrounded by these spheres? Fucking nothing. Because they don't look like they have a payload. So they disregard. They're not part of the mission. So my point in saying that kind of on the news, I don't need to prove to anybody it's true. It is true. I speak with people that are there right now. It is true. And there's been such an increased frequency since 2021 that it has been pushed up to kind of like critical, where they're like, okay, these things are in our airspace. We could have collisions. But more importantly, like, we see other countries firing on these. Russia, Syria. We know it's not their assets. So the question is, whose are these?
So when you say firing at these, so...
Hellfire missiles.
Right. So do you have this thing, and which shape are these ones that have payloads?
Okay, well, that's what's crazy. So I have images of one that we fired on, and for
Can you show us the image?
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Show me right now.
I'll show you. But I think
Can't show it publicly yet?
I don't know, because it comes from a document I probably shouldn't have seen. But people send things to me in ways that I can look at them. So anyway, let's talk about that later. So it looks like this. Looks like a fucking jellyfish, man.
Like a jellyfish?
Yeah, I don't know. It's stiff, but that about the size of like a big coffee table. That's the one, at least, that we've fired on recently.
Big coffee, like this desk, maybe?
Yeah, about 10 to 12 feet.
And then it looks
domed. And then it has and they're not all like this, but this is the one we're talking about that I know was recently fired upon.
And what do they think it's made out of?
See, that's the whole thing, man.
Is it like metallic?
That's the whole thing. There's no retrieval program that's known in these war zones. So even if they did hit something, first of all, would they be able to take it down, whatever it is, right? And by the way, we're eliminating that these are balloons, drug smugglers who use balloons and shit like that. These are objects that have controlled flight.